He could run, but he couldn't hide, as a Gering man accused of stealing a pickup this morning is tracked down by law enforcement in a rural part of Scottsbluff County. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. And our top story. It was a busy Tuesday morning for area law enforcement here in Scottsbluff County. Around 7 a.m., the Scottsbluff Police Department took a report of an auto theft shortly before 7 a.m. At approximately 7:15, a Scottsbluff County deputy spotted the pickup on Highway 26, and a pursuit ensued, with the lone male occupant eventually abandoning the vehicle near County Road 31 and County Road G and fleeing on foot. An emergency lookout was issued for the subject in the rural part of Scottsbluff County. Officers from multiple agencies searched the area, and eventually a citizen spotted the individual running on County Road G. KNEB News was on scene capturing the moments as the suspect, later identified as 25-year-old Crescencio Castillo of Gering, being apprehended in the field by law enforcement officers. Agencies involved in today's response included the Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Office, Scottsbluff Police Department, Nebraska State Patrol, the Minatare-Melbeta Fire Department, and Regional West Ambulance Service. Charges are currently pending against Castillo, who is being treated for injuries sustained following the crash, and he will be booked into the Scottsbluff County Detention Center when released. Castillo will likely make his first appearance on the charges on Wednesday in Scottsbluff County Court. In Scottsbluff, Ryan Murphy, KNEB.TV News. Well, a defaced firearm results in felony charges for a Scottsbluff man pulled over for speeding in Gering late Friday night. Gering officers pulled over 43-year-old Demetrio Gallegos on 7th Street in Gering and detected a strong odor of alcohol emitting from the vehicle. He was arrested for DUI, and a subsequent search of the vehicle led to the discovery of an open bottle of tequila and a 9mm handgun with a defaced serial number. He is being held on a $200,000 bond on charges including possession of a defaced firearm, DUI .15 or higher, and refusal to submit. We'll have more news right after this.
The journey of a dream becoming reality. When we're young, a dream develops into a passion. That passion continues to manifest and grows as you do. It becomes all you want to do and all you want to be. It gives you direction. It drives you. Then your dream has become a reality. When that dream is ready to be reality, Platte Valley Bank will be with you every step of the way.
Benzel Pest Control has been the Wyoming and Nebraska area's most committed professional pest control company. We have 4 generations and nearly 50 years of experience serving Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado, as well as certified entomologists on staff. So whether you're dealing with spiders, wasps, rodents, or any other unwanted visitors, give Benzel Pest Control a call today for an estimate at 888-229-2128 or visit our website at benzelpestcontrol.com.
Welcome back. It is possible that residents in Alliance will get multiple benefits from new ratings from the Insurance Service Office for the city's fire department. A Class 3 public protection classification means that AFD is among the top 15% of fire departments in the country and the top 3% of fire departments in Nebraska regarding fire suppression capabilities. In addition to potentially making Alliance area residents feel safer, the higher safety rating taking effect in May could translate into more affordable property insurance. Chief Troy Shoemaker says a lot of challenging work went into achieving the new rating, and it was a team effort by firefighters, the Alliance City Council, City Administrator, and Alliance Rural Fire District Board members. Well, Governor Jim Pillen announced that he has ordered a second deployment of members of the Nebraska National Guard and Nebraska State Patrol to Texas to help respond to the ongoing crisis along the U.S. border with Mexico. 35 personnel from the Nebraska National Guard have volunteered for the 90-day mission deploying early next month, during which time they will conduct operations in the vicinity of Eagle Pass, Texas. 10 troopers with the Nebraska State Patrol will be on a voluntary deployment to the El Paso area for 2 weeks in mid-April, working alongside the Texas Department of Public Safety. In announcing the deployment, Pillen said what happens along our nation's southern border affects us right here in Nebraska, as we're seeing record amounts of fentanyl and heroin flood into our communities as a result. And the nomination of Dr. Steve Coursey to lead the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services has been confirmed, but not without some criticism. During the debate on the committee report recommending Coursey's approval as CEO of DHHS, several lawmakers questioned whether the appointment was proper. Omaha Senator Michaela Cavanaugh was among those opposed, saying she started hearing from concerned DHHS employees immediately after his hearing before the Health and Human Services Committee.
The overarching theme of these concerns came from individuals who are part of various minority populations and how they perceived their interactions with Dr. Coursey. And I will say that they were not appropriate as represented to me and cause for a great deal of concern.
Committee Chair Ben Hansen of Blair said it was important to air out concerns, but Coursey was open and transparent with the committee.
I think he's done a great job of open communication, which I think in a role such as his is sometimes difficult to find, and his ability to make sure his staff and himself are available when needed by the committee. And I think what he has done in his previous work, I think bodes well in his ability to run DHHS.
The Health and Human Services Committee report with Coursey's nomination was approved on a 28-8 vote after consuming debate the entirety of Monday morning session.
Life is crazy. Pain is stressful. How can anybody concentrate with these busy schedules? Now you can. This is Ben Moravec coming to you from Hydrozen, a float therapy business right here in Scottsbluff. I'm here today to let you know we now have memberships for $49 monthly. You can guarantee yourself at least one float per month. You know how floating keeps your muscles relaxed, your joints relieved, and your brain clear to think? Now you can float at a reduced rate each month. Inquire today at hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT. Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge.
It takes a community to keep our waters clean. Please don't let pollutants be swept and carried away into our storm drains. This can cause problems like clogged storm sewers and contaminating the area's rivers, lakes, and ponds. Non-point source pollutants are not from one source or property, but instead from many sources and properties, which can impair our waterways. Even one piece of trash can add up. Tri-City Stormwater wants you to remember, it's our water, our responsibility.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the Scottsbluff Body and Paint Ag Desk. Scottsbluff Body and Paint, you're driving home our reputation.
Nebraska Extension recently held a corn production clinic in Aurora, Nebraska. Tamara Jackson-Zims gives an update on this year's tar spot threat, where we can see it, and what to look out for.
Depending on where you're at in the state, my update for you is going to be different. And so looking out west, for instance, out in the Panhandle in western Nebraska, we don't have any tar spot in your immediate area. And so it's not close to you yet. And so I just say, just be vigilant and watchful of our updates, and you'll know when it does start to approach that part of the state. we aren't even completely sure how it will behave once it reaches that part of the state. And so otherwise, if you're in the central part of the state, we're letting people know that it has come to that part of the state. And in fact, we've confirmed it in all the counties along that Highway 281 corridor, from about Hastings, Grand Island north all the way to Holt County. And so in those counties, you're right on the edge of where the tar spot fungus has moved in. And so it was hard to find in many of those counties. There's not very much of it. And so right now it's more about making sure people understand what to look for. And so the black spots on corn leaves during the season, it really does look like someone dipped a paintbrush in black paint or tar and slung it across it. And so if you see black spots, especially on green leaf tissue, be sure and flip it over, look on the back side. And if it does pop through on the bottom side, it's probably tar spot. But the most common thing we see in the field that time of year is actually insect frass. And it's very confusing for people when they see black spots like that. So try to rub it off, and you might need to wet that leaf to get that off and rub pretty hard. And if you need help, just submit it to the Plant and Pest Diagnostic Clinic or one of the local county extension educators for help. Now, on the eastern side of the state, the eastern third or so, tar spot has been there for the last 2 or 3 years now. And so in some areas, we've had some hot spots develop where disease has been more severe. And so in both the eastern and central parts of the state, I would say I would start looking at hybrids for their tolerance to tar spot, talking to your agronomist, have a conversation about where to position hybrids where you might have seen the disease in the past, because there are differences in the genetics, although it's really difficult for seed companies to test for tar spot and to produce ratings right now. And so it's slowing down the availability of those types of ratings for us to use in seed catalogs. But agronomists are often aware of which ones may perform better in the presence of it, and so have that conversation. Sometimes a tolerant hybrid may not need a fungicide application. And with that said, not everybody's going to need a fungicide application anyway for tar spot. And so in the counties along eastern edge of Nebraska over into Iowa, down in Missouri, we know there's some places where they did have to spray. Disease developed early and it became quite severe where they had adequate moisture. And in some areas where we had pivot irrigation. And so that's something that we need to be cognizant about, is that we are creating an environment that's more favorable for some diseases, especially the one like tar spot caused by a fungus that's favored by wet leaves. And the longer those leaves are wet, the more favorable it is in general, we believe. And so we may end up talking more about irrigation management, and we do have research ongoing. A graduate student of mine, Talon Muse, is leading that, and it's sponsored by the Nebraska Corn Board and North Central IPM Center to help us learn more about tar spot development under irrigation and also under different parts of the pivot, because it may not be the same all the way across, and in fact it might be worse towards the pivot point where the inner spans move a little bit slower and the leaves are wetter longer. And so stay tuned for an update about that type of research. If you're to the point in 2024, though, where we see early disease development and we're seeing it become more severe on the plant, we do have very good fungicides to manage it. It's important which ones you select and at what stage you spray, though, to get the best efficacy. And so in general, we know that the 2- and 3-way products, that's the ones with active ingredients from 2 or 3 of our classes, do the best job controlling tar spot. And for most people, a single application is probably enough, although we do have data from our neighbors to the east on how sequential applications might work and which product and order might work the best too. And so timing, usually the sweet spot, at least in the data from the east, shows us about VT to R3 has kind of been the sweet spot for tar spot development for most people. Now, that's not always the case for everybody everywhere, and so we have to continue to scout and know when it starts to develop early in the season or later, and just be aware of where it is and how susceptible your hybrids are. And so if anyone has any questions, please reach out to us in Nebraska Extension and check out our resources there and also on the Crop Protection Network.
Depending on what part of the state you're located, tar spot will affect you in different ways. In the west, be sure to keep up on scouting as tar spot may make it your way. In the central and eastern part of Nebraska, it's important to pay attention to irrigation practices to help prevent the disease. If you've had tar spot problems in the past, investigate possible hybrids to keep tar spot out of your crops. Reporting for Market Journal, I'm Mike Straub.
Renewal by Andersen makes the best replacement windows and patio doors you can get, and they're among the best investments you can make in your home right now. Mortgage interest rates have doubled in just the last year. People are renovating their homes rather than moving. Renewal by Andersen windows and patio doors are a fantastic investment. Great tax incentives right now, 5-star energy rated, significantly cut your energy bills, and make your home much more valuable in a buyer's market. Snap that QR code, visit rbawyoming.com right now to start the conversation.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, the public's invited to join the Friends of the Midwest Theater for the 2024 annual meeting tomorrow evening at the Midwest Theater. Attendees will be able to meet with theater staff and the board of directors, and starting at 5:30, there will be a presentation on Midwest Theater events and information from 2023, as well as upcoming projects, performances, and plans for the future. People from the community are encouraged to come and share their ideas on how to make the Midwest Theater the community's theater. Again, that meeting will be Wednesday, 5:30 at the Midwest Theater in downtown Scottsbluff. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.